Hi, Leo, and welcome to your general mid-month reading for the month of May. Thank you for joining me, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I appreciate all your comments and your support in general. So thanks again for following me. All right, so let's get into your reading. I pulled your 9 cards, and I'm going to clarify with another 9 cards after I convey your story to you. So we start with the Two of Wands. So this is an indication that the path is clear to advance in a new direction. This is an exciting card for me. Two of Wands encourages you to visualize what you would like to see. I'll hold it up for you. Visualize what you would like to see as your reality. You are at the planning stage with the Two of Wands. Don't let life plan you. You set the stage. Okay? And you do so with the help of the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords may come to you rather as a surprise or a shock of insight, a flash of insight, you might say, that will propel you on your way to get the fire burning. Right here's the Two of Wands. So that's the fire we need to get burning to set your sights in motion. Okay, so because there's been an ending, a rather disappointing ending, which is always made very clear and bluntly with the Ten of Swords. This is a desperate attempt to keep something from finishing, but has perhaps finished you. Not that you are dead per se, but the situation that maybe you wanted to keep alive has come to a completion. Okay, the sharp stabs of the swords indicate maybe your pain or various lessons learned. You realize now that you only needed one sword, really. This is the only sword that you actually needed, not 10. And it's the sword you had all along that made clear attempts to communicate its truth. If only we would listen, you know? So it's not that we don't ever have this. It's always within us, among us. But I guess too often is we let things go too far. And then at the end of it, at the end of the situation, the experience, whatever it might be, is why we always say such things like, I knew such and such was happening, or I could feel that such and such was happening. And then this is when we only acknowledge or recognize the Ace of Swords. But it's usually there all along. So this ending should not have come as such a surprise or a shock. Okay? So you might say, so now here, getting on to your reading, there's this middle card, the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles to me is, or just in tarot in general, it is a time to evaluate and look at what you have grown, all the manifestations of the seeds you have planted from before. Okay, so you're stepping back and evaluating. So I always ask, how does this person look to you? Does he look happy, sad, content, frustrated? Right now, you're at a point in your life where you're now figuring out what step to take because something has ended and it's time to reevaluate something. But in which direction do we go? Leo, as a Leo, you have a lot of wands here. We have the Two of Wands, Three of Wands, 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. So I think you are deciding what to do with all your energy, your life force within you. Having come to some realization, you now know you have at least 4 avenues to walk down. You have the Three of Wands, which tells me that you can choose to start manifesting something new. Turning your back on that which is old and no longer serves you has perhaps been destroyed, whether a relationship, a career, whatever it might be. You're turning your back and looking forward to new possibilities and opportunities. So it's a beautiful card of manifestation. As this man looks out into the sea, he's looking to see what boats are coming back, what everything that he is visualized in this card and planned, he's waiting for it to actually appear in his reality. So this is for you to actually start programming your mind to not only visualize, but start putting forth the energy into something to see new results, into a new world, a new path. Your other option is the Ten of Wands. And I see this card as in relation to the Ten of Swords, going back to the same old situation. We can drop all these wands and then we can pick them up again and then break our back and then feel the pain all over again. You might say, why would anybody do that? Well, we do that all the time. So that option is always available. Or the third option is you can kind of walk through life very defensively, building up walls, feeling insecure, beaten up. This is the soldier that's really hurt and in pain, has almost had enough, he's almost tired out. So a lot of times, many of us actually walk through life this way, in constant fear, insecure, always got to hide behind a wall. Okay, so you have that choice as well. The last choice, number 4, is the Five of Wands. And I think this is your best bet because the Five of Wands, even though it is a 5 and it talks about, what's the word I'm looking for, competition, maybe there's a fight or a struggle here. The fives are all about struggle and conflict. But this 5, the Five of Wands, is also about just joy, livelihood, action, playfulness, practice. These people aren't beating each other over their head. It's kind of like they're just playing and practicing out in someone's almost like their backyard or some hilltop. So I think if you had a choice to either manifesting something new, going back to the old, walking around insecure and in fear, or using the life force of fire to inspire joy and excitement, action for something new to arise, I think that might be your best bet. One of these two, obviously, right? But in order to figure out where we want to go, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we have to reevaluate, and we do so through the context of the hermit, who is there to seek out wisdom. In which way would we most be beneficial? Okay, so let's go in and clarify these cards. Starting with the Two of Wands. The Fool. So this encourages you to be in a state of liberation. When you are planning and trying to really visualize what you want your future to look like, maybe do so with a state of mind of someone who has no fear, is open to all the possibilities. This is a young person who has very light baggage. We don't want to bring the baggage of our past with us into our future. So with the Fool, it tells us to take that leap of faith, sure. The Fool tells us to use our instinct, as suggested by the little puppers down there. Go into your future with innocence, indicated by the white flower. Purity. We're pure of heart, of mind, of soul. We're inspired by daily life and all its beauty it brings us. That is how we start to cultivate and manifest new things in our life. It's through inspiration and fearlessness. Some may say there's naivety there and there's risk-taking, but I think that's the risk that you take with the Two of Wands. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords brings us the Six of Cups. So with the Six of Cups, this card always takes us back to some kind of nostalgia. It brings us back to our roots, our home life. And maybe that's a little what you have to sense with this Ace of Swords, is your inner child a little, your inner playfulness. We've touched on the subject of children or playfulness 3 times now. Once with the Five of Wands, we want to be playful and practice in order to bring out the fire in us. The Fool, and now the Six of Cups. The Ace of Swords, as insight, we might realize that we've lost our childlike sense, and we need to develop that sense of excitement and just not so much drive to succeed or gain something, but just to be in the moment of pure bliss and joy and happiness. And we do that through giving and receiving and friendship, loving, compassion, sharing. Okay? So this might be a breath of fresh air after such energies like the Ten of Wands that kind of kill the mood. The Ten of Wands is the Ten of Swords is a little bit of a mood killer there. All right, so what do we have for the Ten of Wands? King of Pentacles. So you could have been in some kind of situation with somebody who's a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Doesn't have to be. The King of Pentacles has worked really hard to get where he is. He's very stable energy, very giving, but on the other side of the spectrum, the King of Pentacles can often be seen as somebody who's greedy, who doesn't like to share. Okay, so if this energy right here, which we just discussed, is about sharing and caring and all of that, maybe the King of Pentacles, when reversed, can be somebody who's a little stubborn and greedy. So if this is the kind of energy you were dealing with, well, no wonder why it maybe hit a wall. Maybe you weren't getting your needs met. Maybe somebody wasn't satisfying you, keeping things to his or herself, whatever that might be. The King of Pentacles sometimes can be very loyal. He's a very loyal person, but on the reverse, I only read uprights, but I have to also sense the reverse, and that's that maybe he's not loyal all the time, and that he's the exact opposite, actually. He could be distrustful. He has all this money and security, and a lot of times that can lead to insecurity and wanting to hoard things to oneself. Okay? So this definitely came to an ending, but it also tells me, by the way, that these Ten of Swords, maybe this ending will give you in the pursuit of something more stable and enriching and giving. Okay, let's dive right into the Seven of Pentacles. This is your evaluation card. So this is something, this card encourages you to really step back and look at things from another perspective, or just to pull back a little, take stock. What has worked for you, what hasn't. Queen of Cups. So there's some cup energy coming out here, which is intuition and feelings. It's the giving. The Queen of Cups is, in fact, very giving. She's very warm-natured. She's a card of Cancer. And I'm drawn to her cup right here because what that tells me is that you're, in fact, waiting for your cup to be filled, whether it's cup of love, cup of success, cup of just emotional stability. You're really looking for the best way to receive joy and love and fulfillment. And what, like we talked about, what is the best road there? What road are you going to access in order to get this kind of quality of care and love? Okay, so let's now look at the Three of Wands. As you stand there with your back to the past, looking onward to new opportunities and possibilities. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles again. And so, yeah, this tells me that you're looking for more growth. You're on the upswing. You're connecting the dots of your past and are looking for exactly what the King of Pentacles brings in. Stability, grounding. This is stable energy. This is nourishment. This is something that's very long term. And as this man looks off of the card, I always wonder, like, what is he looking at? And that's also what I wonder with the Three of Wands. What are they looking at? What are they thinking about? And you should be asking yourself that, like, what am I building toward? How do I need to nourish my garden in order to grow and bear more fruit, or whatever it might be you're growing? Okay. So with the Three of Wands brings out the Seven of Pentacles, which tells me you're really looking for flourishment. You're looking for things to flourish. I don't know if flourishment is a word. Somebody look it up, let me know. All right, so now let's clarify the Ten of Wands. Oh. Yeah, okay, so the Eight of Cups. Well, like we said, we don't really want to go back to the same situation, right? We want to turn our back to something more passionate and fulfilling that really meets our goals, meets our heart, is in tune and in line with who we are as human beings, as we have developed. Okay, as we've developed over the years, this situation has become too much. We've grown out of this cycle. We now need to move on. We might feel this pressure to come back to it because that's what we know, but look forward to that new growth. What is it that you're really wanting, desiring, and are ready for? It's more about being ready for something new. Well, because we'll always want and desire, but it's more about what is for us and in line with us. Okay, so now we have the Nine of Wands, and this is, like we said, this is maybe standing in a little bit too defensively, fearing, being in a place of insecurity. This is the wounded warrior stage. Seven of Wands. So again, there's more energy here, more wand energy here. Although the Seven of Wands tells me that there is conviction and there's fire behind the conviction and a real aptitude to standing your ground, or not aptitude, but real passion, or real, I can't think of the word now, but real conviction to stand your ground. And you might not be compelled to get down and you're just going to keep fighting, but this, I see these cards just rotating over and over. Standing your ground, fearing, being insecure, fighting back, standing your ground. So it kind of goes in this like crazy loop. Okay, so it's a lot of wand energy. And if you feel like whatever the situation is, it's worth fighting for, like you're not going to give up and you don't want to give up, you be the judge. It's your story. You need to choose and make your own decisions that you feel that that's right for you. Now let's look at this Five of Wands. This is the going at something with playful energy. And so what this does, this playful, joyous energy where we're practicing and having fun, and maybe it's not too serious, it's a little competitive. what that does is it creates new avenues. It's as you are having fun and as time is going by, it's like you don't even realize what you've done. It's almost like when you're at work or at school and you're really involved in a lesson or a project at work, and next thing you know, the day is over and you haven't even noticed. And that's because you're really involved in the day-to-day things. And you're really getting involved with people and places and having fun. And there's the Queen of Pentacles. So again, this is stable earth energy. The Queen of Pentacles is similar in a way to that of the Queen of Cups. This could deal with a relationship, to women, to men, it doesn't matter. But, we're looking, this is the new coming in, possibly. This is, with this new playful energy, you're going to elicit more energy, more or different energy. The Queen of Pentacles is also another mother. She's sexual, but she's like refined, she's knowledgeable, she's a businesswoman, she's successful. So maybe if this King of Pentacles didn't work out, well, you know what? Maybe you've just drawn in a new kind of energy. Okay, so we have a king, we have a queen, another queen. So there's a lot of people on the board, actually. So maybe there's a lot to choose from. Maybe you're going to have a lot of choices. And that's why you really want to go into this Five of Wands energies, because you never know what's going to come out of it. And then the last card, the Hermit. This is going in for inner wisdom. Okay, and the Knight of Rods. So, the Knight of Rods is, I feel like the Knight of Rods was once the Hermit when he was much younger. And the Knight of Rods has lived many, many years, made many, many mistakes, has been driven only by passion and not by anything else. And the Hermit comes in now many years later, 30 years later, 40, 50 years later, whatever, not really sure of his age. And his wand has now gotten a couple notches up because his wisdom has grown. And now he realizes that he just can't work from fire energy. You also need water energy. You need to work from a place of feeling, in this knowing, this intuitive knowingness. You also need to work from a place of stability, the grounded energy, the day-to-day work that we put in and day out with care and compassion. Okay? Because I see a lot of wands here, and which isn't a bad thing, but when it's overflowing with fire, a lot of times I feel like the energy can be too aggressive, too abrupt, too forceful in one direction. So I think you need to slow down and start reevaluating where you want to go. So once again, do you want to manifest new possibilities? Go back to the old, kind of walk around insecure or very defensive, or be in this playful, joyful way of being in order to manifest new things, new creative works, and out pops something different. Okay? So that was your reading. So I hope you liked it. I hope it resonated with you. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you so much. This was Leo, the sign of Leo's mid-month reading. Thank you so much.